The September editorial of Taiwan Business Topics magazine is entitled A Promising Initiative. At a time when the Taiwan economy has been losing steam, with both consumption and investment activity continuing to be sluggish, government policymakers have been prevented by budgetary and debt ceiling constraints from undertaking large-scale public spending to try to stimulate the economy. Encouragingly, however, officials have sought to devise some imaginative new approaches in an effort to generate greater economic vitality. The major example is the government's plan to create free economic pilot zones, FEPZs. Details of the plan have been released only spottedly, and many people have been unclear about just how the zones would work and how they would differ from existing export processing zones and science parks. Recently, Minister Guang Zhongming of the Council for Economic Planning and Development, CEPD, gave a presentation at an AmCham Taipei luncheon, and while it was evident that many questions and challenges remain, most in the audience were convinced of the enormous value of the project if it can be carried off successfully. The strategy behind the plan is to introduce substantial deregulation, freeing companies from heavy government restrictions that impede business, but in a staged way that is likely to meet less political and bureaucratic resistance. The liberalization facilitating the flow of goods, people, and money at first would apply only to certain qualifying enterprises, but if the outcome is significantly effective, the new system would essentially be extended to cover all businesses in Taiwan. Some of the FEPZs, mainly around the island's ports and the Taoyuan International Airport, would be physically defined areas, although companies with a base inside the physical zone could also operate factories elsewhere that would enjoy the same benefits. In the case of service industries, there would also be vital zones. The companies could be located anywhere, but after going through an approval process, they would be deemed FEPZ enterprises. Under the CEPD's proposal, for example, wealth and asset management that receive a certain grade would be allowed to develop and market financial products beyond those currently approved by the Financial Supervisory Commission. Various aspects of the plan would resolve some of the major problems cited by the multinational companies and often reflected in AmCham's Taiwan White Paper. One is the obstacle that the high personnel income tax rate, a top bracket of 40%, poses for recruiting high-caliber international talent to work in Taiwan. If enabling legislation is passed, only half the income of foreign professionals hired by FEPZ companies would be taxable for the first 3 years. FEPZ enterprises would also have an easier time employing mainland Chinese professionals who would be eligible for 3-year multiple entry visas, and they could enjoy greater tax benefits for substantial R&D expenditures and for upgrading to become a regional headquarters. The FEPZ plan presents an attractive vision for recharging the lagging economic momentum and propelling Taiwan into a new era of administrative efficiency and business innovation. But numerous hurdles, including the achievement of further interagency consensus and legislative endorsement, will have to be surmounted before the plan can achieve its potential. An aggressive marketing program to promote the zones to the public and the business community will also be needed. Small steps and a slow pace will not build the necessary momentum.